What's up, guys? My name is Sal. I'm here to help you guys set up your Gangsters organized crime for internet play. I want to make a quick shout out to Joe. Joe is one of the members on the Facebook page. He spent many hours, days, and months to help me test some of these features to get this game to work. Guys, you have no idea when I say many hours and days. I mean, we probably spent about 2 months and hours trying to figure out why this game wasn't connecting. And I'm going to run through the things I found, but without his help, I wouldn't have been able to test multiple features and figure out what was stopping us from launching a game. So let's dive into it. First, you're going to need to port forward. I can't show you exactly how to port forward because everyone has a different router. You may have a Linksys, you may have a Netgear, you may have a D-Link. You need to know which router you have to be able to port forward. Each router has different features to it, so just Google your router or YouTube your router on how to port forward. They're all fairly similar. They take 5 minutes to set up to port forward. It's really an important feature. And you do not need to port forward to join a hosted game. Though, if you don't port forward, you're going to need to use Hamachi, which is a program that kind of links everyone together. That's only if you're not all port forwarded. I don't know why when you try to join a game not port forward, you won't be able to join a game unless you're using Hamachi. But again, if you're using Hamachi, you don't need to port forward, but it is very important to port forward. And the reason why it's important to port forward is, let's say you guys are playing a game. Let's say you guys have 4 people playing, and the host gets eliminated. And let's say that the game then transfers to your computer, and you're the guy that's not port forwarded. Because the host got eliminated and he's now kicked from the game, you're the one that becomes the new host. If you're not port forwarded, game disconnects, game ends right there. No one can finish. So it is kind of important to port forward, so you guys can at least get to finish a game. Also, luckily with this game, if you guys don't finish a game, you guys halfway through a game, the game does save every 2 weeks gets saved. Well, every 2 weeks, every week gets saved automatically in the game, so you guys can actually reload an old game that you guys were playing a month ago. All right. We got guys that play once, twice a week, so and we have no problems reloading a loaded game. But it is important not to kind of use Hamachi, because every time you use Hamachi, if the Hamachi IP addresses do change, you won't be able to join an old game because the IP address is now changed. It automatically saves that old IP address, so to load that game, there's no way of rechanging the IP address to load that game. So if you guys are able to not use Hamachi, it's better off to port forward, use your regular IP address that doesn't change, and then you guys can always load up an old save game. That's what we find that works the best. All right. So let's kind of dive into all this now that I kind of explained a little bit. There are a couple of different ports that we have to test. There's a Gangsters port and there's a Direct Play port. All right. So the Gangsters port here is 47624. That is the port that the game runs off of. So you need to enable that port or forward that port, and then you have a Direct Play port, which is 2300 to 2400. Direct Play was a old program that Windows 98 used to use. It's really not used anymore, but Windows 10 still has that feature, and the game uses the Direct Play feature to host the game. All right, so it's important to enable these ports for Direct Play. There is a chance, and I've never seen this with anybody that I've helped out over the internet, and I've helped out a lot of people on the internet already, that there is a chance that Direct Play might not be set up correctly in Windows 10, or it may not be installed. It's not too hard to reinstall it. It's not too hard to reset it up. Just Google, YouTube, how to set up Direct Play on Windows 10. It'll show you. You most likely will not have to worry about that. Again, it's something that I had to check just because I was trying to figure out how to get this game to work. And I did notice that there was a possibility for Direct Play not to be set up properly, but I never encountered that with anybody yet. All right, I just wanted to kind of put it out there. Next, you're going to want to test these ports right here. In order to test these ports, you're going to go to this website. Description link will be down below on the channel. In order to test these ports, you're going to need to go in game, host a game. You do not need to start a game, but you just need to be in lobby. From what I found, Windows 10 had Windows 10 puts the ports into hibernation mode. So you might be port forwarded, but the port will still show closed because it's not. It doesn't need. There's nothing listening to it. So the way it works is, if you're in lobby and you're the host, it's called listening. The ports will be listening for someone to communicate to it. So the ports won't be open to be listening because they'll be in hibernation. Just so everyone knows, this is not my real IP address. I just set this up for YouTube. So if you're thinking that I'm going to show you the ports that have open plus giving you an IP address, yeah, no, I'm not that dumb. But nevertheless, let's go dive into this. So right now it's going to show closed because this, again, is not my real IP address, guys. So we're going to go ahead and type here 47624 check. All right. Again, make sure you're in lobby and you're hosting a game to be able to check this. Your port should come back, if you did this correctly, a green flag, and it should just say open. Make sure you check 2300, and then after you're done with checking 2300, make sure you check 2400, just so you go through the whole range of ports. Once all of this is open, you don't have to worry about port forwarding anymore. Okay? So then we can just kind of close this out. That's done. Moving on. Next, setting your network up to private. We found that, let me show you actually where to do this at. So go to your internet. So if you're using Wi-Fi, just type in Wi-Fi, go to Wi-Fi settings. You connect to wherever you're connected to. You just click on that, and you click on private. This is really set more so for sharing files and printer settings if you have like a wireless printer or a printer connected to another computer that you're trying to print from one computer to another computer. That's what this feature's for. But we noticed when we were hosting games and playing the game that when we were set to public, it was a lot harder to us to connect to each other. Once we went and set this to private, we noticed we were able to connect the games a lot quicker. We didn't have to do it 3-4 times, just worked like a charm. Where when it was in public, it would work sometimes, and sometimes it wouldn't work. So just go ahead and set this to private. Just makes everything a lot smoother. All right, guys? Let's see. Next, Windows Defender Firewall. All right, so we're going to have to shut down the Windows Defender Firewall. If you guys have anything like a Mac-free virus protection, if you have Avast, Norton, you're going to want to shut down those protections to go ahead and host and play a game. All right, but you'll know what you have, so make sure all your virus protections are all disabled. But for the Windows stuff, we're going to do Windows Defender Firewall, so we're going to hit the Windows button. We're going to type in Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security. Then we're going to go click right down here, Windows Defender Firewall Properties. We're going to go to the main profile. It's going to be enabled, so it's going to be on. We're going to set that to off. We're going to do private network. It will be on. We're going to set that to off. And same thing with public. We're going to apply. Okay. After you're done, you can go ahead and come back in here and turn the stuff back on. But like I said, for game purposes, we're going to turn that off. Next, your real-time protection. Now, your real-time protection will have to be disabled. So in order to do that, we're going to hit the Windows button again. We're going to type in Virus and Threat Protection. We're going to come down to Manage Settings. And we're going to set from this to on to off. You can go ahead and enable all this stuff after you're done playing the game, but without setting this to off, you're going to most likely be able, if you have this left on, usually the issue we see is you're going to be able to join, you're going to see the lobby, you're going to see the host, but as soon as you try to join the host, it's going to kick you right out of the lobby, all right? And you most likely will get the host disconnected too. For some reason, the game is a little glitchy in the multiplayer lobby, so make sure that's set to off. If you have a problem where you can't join the game or join the lobby, that's probably because real-time protection is off. Another thing to mention, this game, like I said, is laggy in the start of trying to join the host. Type in someone's IP address. It's going to look like it froze. Give it a second. Let the game get caught up. Let it find the IP address. When you find the IP address, try to join that session. When you're joining that session, don't click join 25 times, guys. Once is enough. Just give it a second to be able to connect. Remember, we're running a game from Windows 98 on Windows 10. And again, this is just a glitchy. The way this multiplayer was set up, it's just very glitchy. All right. So just give it a second to get caught up. When you guys get into the lobby, what we found also is let the host start the game first. Don't hit start game right away. Let the host click start game, and then after the host clicks start game, then you all can click start game. We found that works the best. If you click start game before the host, for some reason the game crashes sometimes. If you start the game and someone doesn't actually get to connect, just do the process over again. You'll most likely connect the second or third time. Again, it is a little glitchy trying to get it to start, but once it starts, the game runs fairly smooth. There might be a little bit of lag in the game, but again, it runs fairly smooth. The plus side on this, if I didn't mention it before, the game saves every week. So, if let's say you're into week 20 and someone's like, "Hey guys, I gotta go," you can load this game up a month from now if you wanted to, and restart that. Well, start from that same point. So it's another reason why you don't want to use Machi. I think I might have mentioned this. I don't remember, but another reason why you might not want to use Machi is Machi sometimes changes the IP addresses around. If you guys are port forward, stay away from Hamachi. Because if you go into Hamachi 2 months later and the IP addresses got changed, you won't be able to start up that game that you played 2-3 hours already into. All right, just try to do it with your own IP addresses, so the IP addresses always stay the same. It just eliminates that problem. All right, the next step is the Gangsters EXE. So a couple of different things. Make sure you're running version 1.4. That's what we all use when we play the game. If you're using GOG version, you're most likely running Gangsters 1.4. In order to find out when you start up the game, right at the splash screen where you're able to start new game, multiplayer, all that stuff, it'll say version 1.4 in one of the corners. I don't remember. It might be top left corner or something like that. Make sure you're running version 1.4. We have noticed that the Hachi. We have noticed that the GOG version does come up with a data file does not match ever once trying to load a game. This is why we use the modded version of the Gangsters exe file. You can find the description down below. Download that, install it, or not install it, but just drop and override your Gangsters exe. Another thing you might want to do is actually transfer the game. If everyone's using a legit copy of Gangsters from the GOG that you bought the official copy, then transfer between each other. As long as everyone owns, like I said, the official copy, I would just transfer the game from one person to another, make sure everyone has the same files. Then put the exe file, the new exe, the modded exe, in the game, in the game folder. This exe will bypass the data files do not match. So most likely you'll be able to join a game or join a host, and then once the host starts a game, you might be kicked in saying data files do not match. Most likely you didn't install that exe file, or put that new downloaded exe file, that modded exe file in your folder. Make sure you use that exe. Doesn't matter if you want to use the Gangsters Launcher app. That should be in the folder. Looks something like this. Gangsters Launch app. I'm pretty sure I have it here. I know some people like to use the Gangsters Launcher right here. That launcher points to the exe. All right. Don't care if you want to use this one or this one. Doesn't make a difference. You just need this exe here. Very important. All right. If you didn't install it and you have problems, that's probably the last step that you have to do. Other than that, if you guys are looking to join a game and you guys want to play a game with us, let us know. If you guys have any problems with hosting a game, you can let me know. You can also let Joe know or Ramon. These guys play, once, twice a week. They're very fluent on all of these steps at this point. It's again, if you guys need help, we have no problem and plenty of patience to help people. But if you guys didn't do any of these steps and you say, hey, I need help, and you didn't do any of these steps, don't waste anyone's time. Please do these steps. Let us know you followed all these steps, and then we'll help you get set up. We'll get you connected. We don't mind investing some time into somebody to help somebody. But again, if you didn't follow these steps, you didn't watch this YouTube video, it's almost 15 minutes long, but it's not that long. Don't waste people's time, Just follow these steps, and then we'll help you out with the rest. If you guys are interested in playing, let us know. Again, you can let me know, Joe, or Ramon. We have a private group chat that the guys that use the to play this game once twice a week. We have its own private group chat. We'll go ahead and get you guys connected to that group chat if you're interested. We also use Discord to talk to each other while we're playing the game. We can get you into Discord. Just message one of us and we'll get you started. All right. Talk to everyone soon.